Saskatchewan has the worst HIV rates in the country. Now, a team of researchers from the U of S wants to help mothers with HIV raise healthy babies. They're looking into the benefits of donated breast milk for HIV-exposed infants, including the accessibility and feasibility of it. Master of Science student Chloe Langan is part of the USask-led project, and she joins us now in studio. Good morning, Chloe.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so intrigued by this as a mom myself, but what exactly are you exploring in this research?
Yeah, so we're really just looking at to see if donor breast milk is feasible and practical to provide into the daily lives of caregivers of HIV-exposed infants.
So when you say HIV-exposed babies and their moms, who exactly are we talking about?
Yeah, so HIV-exposed infants, although they often remain uninfected, they are at higher risk for infection and hospitalizations early in life. So it's just an infant born to a mother living with HIV.
And so with medication these days, how does that work? The mother obviously doesn't necessarily pass along HIV to her baby now, but when it comes to nursing and breastfeeding, can it pass through milk?
Yeah, so with the antiretroviral therapies, it reduces the viral load to less than 1% of transmission. So breastfeeding is an acceptable option in the HIV world. However, mixed feeding is not a viable option as it actually makes the gut more permeable and creates microabrasions. So if you do switch to formula and then go back to breastfeeding, it would make it more likely that it would transmit.
Oh, wow. So then these mothers have to make a decision kind of right off the bat, breast or formula.
Yeah.
Wow, that's hard to do because you also don't know if you'll be able to breastfeed. So if you want that, this makes perfect sense while you're looking at the donated milk. So how did you get involved in this project, Chloe?
Yeah, so I've always been interested in infant and maternal health, and luckily I was brought onto the team, the lab, I guess, of Dr. Kelsey Cochran. So I started in this September, and I guess it's just been a learning process, but I'm absolutely loving kind of learning about the long-term benefits of breast milk.
Why do you think it's important to do this research, especially here in Saskatchewan?
Yeah, so because the current guidelines do recommend, do include donor milk, we just really want to look at if this is a feasible and acceptable option. So before jumping into a larger clinical trial, we really just want to see kind of if this is something that caregivers do want.
Mm-hmm. How affordable and accessible is donated breast milk just in general?
Yeah, so its use outside of the NICU is not very accessible, and it's very expensive. And so it's included in the guidelines, yet it's not an acceptable option for these caregivers.
Right. So what are you hoping, I guess, to learn from the participants of this study?
Yeah, we're really hoping to learn how the caregivers will use the donor milk. So we'll be tracking the volume and frequency, how infants will be tolerating it, and finding out whether or not families find it a practical option.
Because I know formula, as a mom who had to mostly formula feed herself, it is very pricey. So is it kind of in line with that, the donated breast milk, the cost of it?
So formula is free for the first year for HIV-exposed infants.
Wow.
So that's sort of something that hopefully a long-term goal can be implemented into a program.
So to have like this donated breast milk become free as well.
That would be amazing, yes. So hopefully in the long term.
What's next with this project then?
Yeah, so we start recruitment here in May. So hopefully all goes great with that and we're able to kind of get the results that we want. And next steps, this is sort of the first study towards building evidence for a larger clinical trial. And so we just really want to learn all the logistics and have caregivers inform next steps as well.
It sounds like it's in the very early stages. So how long do you see this process taking, I guess, till maybe you're in those clinical trials?
Yeah, I guess that's ultimately what we are kind of aiming to do with this study. So we start recruitment here in May and probably we'll give it about a year. So hopefully not in too far the long term, but yeah.
So about a year, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Exactly.
Well, this is fascinating, Chloe. I want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing more about this with us. I didn't know about the formula for HIV babies, and so you've provided us a lot of education this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.